Good evening guys, and welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. It's 9:53 p.m. It's actually still harvest day. I've come out to check for some more dead trees. I thought I'd seen some back out here, just by the ranger station, and maybe I'd forgotten. That must have been me getting confused. As you can see in the intervening time, as I warned myself many times, if you leave trees on a trailer held on just by the straps and defying physics, when you load the game again, they've fallen off. Anyway, I won't bore you too much with the detail of that. What I have found, and I have to admit, Farmer Klein tipped me off to this, out here in the woods, the video machine we found is now making funny noises and is receiving power from somewhere. There's some odd things in the woods around here. Anyway, let's turn the game sound back down. Hope that's about right, we'll see. And I'm just going to pop these trees back on here. Now, I've been reposting the new Sosnovka videos for a couple of weeks. That was me getting back into the swing really of the recording, etc. I know I'm looking at the Goldcrest Valley playthrough now because I've already had spreadsheets and calculators open on my PC for the first time since I last played Eve. But there you go. So here we are. We'll get this wood back on. There is definitely another dead tree I'm going to go and get. I'm going to see you over there when I've got this lot sorted. Now I believe this is the last dead tree standing. It's a bit tucked away. We're right down in the bottom left hand corner of the map. There are a couple more to pick up, but I'm pretty sure, although I will do at least one more check around the map during the day at some stage, that this is the last one that needs felling. So, we've got a dead tree down, we've got a dead tree down, as they say. There we go. And yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry for the break, but then again, I'm not. Real life is real life. 5, doing my little count across here, just to get back into the swing of it. So we've done the harvest. We shall do some sums shortly. And what's interesting is we've actually got a few more pigs than I had perhaps bargained for. In how well they bred, so that obviously then reflects on how quickly they are getting through the food supply and how quickly they're going to start on this year's harvest, which I think is going to be, at least with regards to some of the food stuff, sooner than I anticipated, but not to worry. And also then there's the calculation to be done, if it needs to be done, if we want to do it. This is going to be a little bit tricky, just a minute, especially in the dark. We shall find a way, there's always a way. Of what would we have got for the harvest if we just sold it? And what would we get having fed it to the pigs from the pig production? Right. This is going quite wrong. I'm glad to say that I haven't seen that the Seaons mod got updated, because if it had, that would have kind of ruined this a little bit, because I believe it got updated on PC, so that the pigs took much less feeding and therefore became rather more profitable due to people complaining and basically, you know, oh, they're not worth doing, they're not making enough money. That's not quite how I'm seeing this. As you've probably gathered by now, I'm getting so stuck around this tree. I am going to make it though, even if I have to put it down and go back and get it from the other side. Or perhaps, you know what I'll do, I'll wait till the morning and I'll tidy these up. That's much more sensible, because this is quite hard. I can't see the trees for the woods. There you go. Couple more things to show you actually. While I couldn't actually get the tree out of the woods, I thought I'd just check around here in case there were any more dead ones. We've got a bit of a flickery light on this viewpoint picnic spot. And then if you carry on heading east, again I am just having a little glance around, taking the opportunity to look for more of the dead ones. It looks nice. I've never really been out here and looked back around. It's very nicely populated, this map, I think, around the town. As I've said before, I never quite think this got the appreciation because it was played by everybody so much in the beginning as the only new map, and there have been an inundation of very good, very interesting mod maps. Almost too many in a sense for me, for a person like me who wants to try them all and have a look. It's very hard to get settled in and concentrate on a game as in a playthrough when couple of weeks time there's a fantastic new map, and you know, by the time you have a little sniff around it, or certainly in my case, I've already spent a considerable chunk of time and done some work on the farm just to see, how does this work, how does that work. I thought he was a dead one there. Right, we've almost reached where we're kind of headed for. Stealth mode. But there's so many of those dead trees I have not seen until I've been somewhere 4 or 5 times, well, in the case of the one by the sheep. Ah, right, another shack in the woods. This one seems quite innocuous. Nothing dodgy lying around here. Like the one we found, the mask and the saw and the wheelbarrow. But what is a little bit odd is if you carry on heading east from here, there is, I'm going to risk it, a strangely glowing outhouse. A nice little thing to hide. There is one more spot to go and look at night. I'll do that another night. Anyway, and we're just across the way from the timber yard, and I believe that since we just went over by the sheep and picked up the tree that we found hiding there, this is the tree that we cut down at the top of the cliff on our day off and allowed to roll a little bit closer to the timber yard. So this is dead tree number 25. I need a whopper. Well, I managed to cut myself quite a big log here, and the Zeta will deal with it because he always does. Yeah, I think pound for pound, so to speak, or bang for the buck, however you want to put it, this here Voucher N series is one of the heroes of the game. Ooh, again, turning into a bit of a delicate balancing act. I'm half tempted to tow this one by the side of the sell point and let the straps off and just kind of see what happens. We can sweep the rest into the sell point maybe as required. Right now we're going to put the agility of our voucher to the test here. Yeah, we'll get that little one first. No, we won't get a little one first. Always want to put the little one on last. That's what I told you, wasn't it? And for good reason. They do make it quite hard to pile the rest of the logs on. Got him. Yep. Sorry, traffic. Be right with you. And now we're heading into autumn, or proper autumn, proper post-harvest autumn. Oh, go on, stay there. We'll have to find some jobs to do. There's not really much we can do field-wise. We can cultivate and fertilise. We could, in theory, be planting the barley and the canola because they will survive the winter. They will miss growth stages, become kind of dormant if the temperature is too low for them to grow, but they won't be killed as will other crops. And that'll pretty much happen as the first day of winter in my experience. Anything else that's in the ground will all die as soon as we get that drop in temperature. We've got snow forecast reasonably soon. Although a better start to next year is forecast, because obviously we lost a day at the beginning of this year to the snow. Right, that's everything on. We're going to do a quick check. That looks pretty secure. What we're going to do, first of all, just get this hitched up so the traffic can get moving. Oh my word. We pulled the hitch right over here. Alright, we're going to be able to get it around that lamppost. Oh. Come on, come on, come on, this way, to me. No, can I get back around here then? Yeah, come on Voucher, keep pushing, keep pushing. Yay. Right. To the sell point. There is one thing I need to check before I dump these in, is how many trees we've got. 3 pieces per tree. Let's get out and have a look. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23. 8 trees. Bringing the full total to 25 dead trees sold. We will have a look around, but I think this is it. I don't think I've ever tried this unloading method before, but I think it's going to be reasonably good. Or maybe not. That was rubbish. Okay, don't try that at home, it's a waste of time. This won't take long to sort out though, I'm quite sure. Crude but effective, shall we call it? Ta-da! Well, there you go. No achievement. No $1 billion bonus. Maybe they're not all done yet. Am I getting this right? Wait, oh, right, okay. We've done the funny thing where the hitch folds under the trailer. Okay, another thing not to try at home. Little stunt there. Very enjoyable, very exciting. Can we possibly remedy this? Now, we drove back to the shop in the tractor. We did reset the trailer. It was absolutely unrescuable. Basically, the hitch had got folded back under itself and glitched into the plates, and no matter what I did, I could not move it. Anyway, the reason we're here, we're going to head back up to the farm with, and we don't even need to extend our loan for this. We're going to use our half hour free kind of borrowing of something using the mechanics of the game in Seasons mode, and we're going to buy this chap. And we are going to drive him up to the farm. Now, the reason I've gone for the big one is simply because he will do it quicker. And we're going to run him straight off of the pig's slurry storage using the menu selection to do so, and we shall then think about using the manure, although obviously some of that needs to go into the greenhouses. Then we need to go up to see the pigs and give them some love. They need to be cleaned and they need some food topping up, although that's not too desperate. A lovely autumn day. Not many trees to show the seasonal effect, unfortunately, on this map. You can see a few over there changing colour. It's predominantly pine trees on this map. I'm going to be nice. Sorry, Mr. Neighbour. Never going to be able to afford this field, are we? Well, you never know. Maybe one day. Right. We're beating the cars, look at that. Super voucher strikes again. And we've got one field that needs ploughing as well, so that's this field over here, field 19. So I'm not going to fertilise him yet. I'm going to crack on with this guy, and I've not used him for a while. Right, menu, slurry refill from the pig slurry tank, go. And we haven't got an awfully large amount of the slurry. It takes about 81,000 to cover these 3 fields in before they've been expanded or messed with. We've got less than half of that, so I'm quite sure this won't take too long, but it just saves us a bit of money and uses a resource. You can sometimes speed this up quite considerably, even if you're using a worker to keep your lines nice and straight by doing the turning yourself. Who have we got working with us today? It's Vanessa in her white sneakers. And back down here. Now obviously I could go up and manually fill this, but then I'd use a bit more time up on the half hour, and the only way to get it pumped straight in here is by using a worker. The other advantage of doing it this way is that the weight of the tanker stays much lighter because it's never actually physically got any slurry in it. So your tractor with maybe less than the recommended horsepower can still use this. And something I haven't used today but is a very good piece is that you can put a cultivator onto the back of here. It reduces the width to 6 meters. It cultivates as it so it goes much further. Now I didn't bother doing that because in the half hour that I'm going to have it, I wasn't sure how much it was going to do compared to how much it's going to do coverage wise with the fertilizer, which is all we really want to get done today. Tell you what we're going to do here. moving over. I reckon we can do all this in one run. There you go. Nearly. I don't worry too much about those tiny little missing bits, or if that was at the edge of the field, I wouldn't worry if it was that narrow. It's a very, very tiny amount of yield that's been affected there. Alright, we're getting straight onto this field. We're getting close to running out. 2,000 left. We've done field 15, field 14, a cornfield we made alongside the shed, and we've got 1,000 left over. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this back to the shop. In fact, 48,000 we paid for it. Sold 48,000. Don't even need to take it back to the shop. Right. So we have one field left needing fertilising, because we have no fertiliser system. Before we fertilise field 12, we're going to get up to the pigs. They do need a clean up. We weren't there this morning, we stayed out all night in the woods. I think these 2 bales of straw with us, why not? As much use as we can out of every drop of diesel. In fact, they'll probably take one. Let's leave him there. Right. Now I think we've got some bits of dead tree left there. Ah, by the way, whilst we're on the subject, I found one more dead tree right by the timber yard, really hiding. Actually, if it hadn't been for the trailer crash, I'm not sure I would have found him, spotted him at all. We'll put the spikes down there. We'll put this down here. So we are back up to 26 trees on the dead tree count, my friends. And we made more money, so that's 9 we've sold this morning. We made $51,000 more than we made for 10 trees, and the fact that there's some pieces of tree left there probably explain that. But anyway, we shall have plenty of time over the winter. So for now, here we go. And let's not forget, this is exactly our halfway through our year, because the first day of spring was a washout. The animals, well, the pigs, they're clean, their troughs are low, so and then we can kind of see where we are. Now, we started with 30 pigs, everything was planned around 30 pigs. We now have 40 pigs due to them breeding, which is exactly what they're here to do, so that's not a problem. Put that away, and that's wheat. And then we should have got a bit of barley. Canola, I don't think we'll need too much of. Check on the greenhouses while we're here. And now, yeah, seasons, we've got lots of time, guys. We may get that field fertilised today, we may not. Doesn't matter. We certainly can't plant the corn until the spring. We could plant the barley and the canola and leave it in the ground for the winter, as I said. But do we need to? Also, then we need to think about the costs and leasing stuff. Right, corn, go. Okay, all of the pigs' troughs are now full. You may notice the eagle-eyed amongst you, it's now almost 4 p.m. That is because I forgot to set it to 5 times speed earlier, so I've kind of made it up by speeding it up even more while I was topping up the troughs. Let's see where we are. Right, now, corn, 3 days is 11,000. What have we got left here? That's not much, is it? So we're about 5,000 short of corn. Wheat, barley, 5,500, and over here we've got 6,600, so that's probably going to see us through. And canola, 5,400. I suspect that's going to be more than enough. What's that, 4,400 there for 3 days? And the corn actually goes up over the winter to keep the little piggies extra warm. So yeah, corn is the one that's going to catch us out, and that is purely because we're now dealing with 30% more pigs than we projected for the year, which is good. That's what we're here for. We made 6 pigs in the spring breeding system out of the 30, so we started the autumn breeding season with 36, and we've got a day and a day and a quarter to go. So let's see where we are at the end of the autumn breeding season. Then we've got to decide when to sell them. Next job while we're here is leave the trailer. We're going to top up the greenhouse. I did have a little sneaky peek. It's got a reasonable amount of water, but it needs some more of this fuel. So we shall do that now. And the solid manure goes even less distance field wise than the slurry in my experience, so this really is a very good use for it. I've just got to remember where to put it. There we are. I'll just have a little check. Don't we really need to worry about any water. 40% water, 82% manure. That's absolutely fine for now. So I think, yeah, harvest wise we're going to have to get a little bit into what we've just harvested to keep the pigs at 100% or as close to 100% as we can. Their condition now is actually up to 91, which isn't too bad at all. In case any of you are tempted during the periods of the year when they're not breeding, don't be tempted to feed them less or let them go without something. Their condition will plummet much quicker than it will recover. So you can't kind of suddenly put them up to 100% on the first day of breeding season. That's just not going to work. Reproduction rate now is every 8 hours, bang on, at three pigs a day. So yeah, I mean, going forward, do we sell the surplus? We need to. That's the whole point of this experiment, so we shall. But you would have the option, since we're more than alive and kicking financially, to just really leave them there and let them accrue. It's very much a snowballing action, isn't it, basically? But they all look very happy, I'm very pleased to say. So, we're back. We're managing the farm. It looks like food-wise we're going to have to dip slightly into this year's harvest just to keep them going through the winter. But then, if we look at our trusty market guide for pigs, there's a good selling price tomorrow. Now, do we wait until the second day in winter? Price is even better. That would make sense. The best price is obviously at the end of the spring breeding season. So we're not going to wait for that, because that's beyond the year end and we're going to have to feed them for all the extra time. But what this has actually shown me is that you should really think of the year not starting in January for the pigs, but starting with the autumn. So hit the beginning of the autumn with 30 pigs, let them breed, you get 6, then let them breed again. We'll see how many we got at the end of the second breeding season, then sell them on the first day of summer for the best possible price. So in the second year, that would probably be how we look to manage the farm. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for coming back and having another look. We will get this wrapped up in the next couple of episodes, I think, something like that, 2 or 3 more. And we'll see exactly where we were, whether it was worth having the pigs, whether it really mattered that it's not worth having the pigs. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment. Any suggestions would be very welcome. And subscribe if you want to see some more. Thank you very much and take care. Good night.